Hello everyone in Cyber World. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Richard, and this is our channel we call Poor Man's DIY.
So this is video number 5 of our Murphy bed project. We're going to show you some special and original and unique features that we have added to this project.
Now before we get started, as always, if you like the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button as well. It will only take you a second to do so. We created a kick plate that's placed at the bottom of the bed to hide the gap, as well as hold in the bed frame itself and keep it from bowing out. Now the legs that we've put on the bed will actually hold up just fine, but there's a minor issue with that. So every time you put the bed up, you have to move and adjust each bed leg. So one of the options that you could do is install a bar in between them. We just used a clothes rack bar that we cut to size, and we're just going to install it. Now when we go to put the legs away, when we're closing up the bed, you just pull on the bar.
We want the entire unit to appear to be made of shaker drawers and cabinets. We are now creating a faceplate that will be attached to the drawers that we previously made.
So the Murphy bed and the shelves themselves are actually pretty much done for the most part. Now it's time to kind of clean things up by putting on faceplates, candles, and so forth. And we're going to do a little touch up to make sure everything looks good before we call it finalized. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is, as I mentioned, we're going to be putting on a faceplate on top of the drawer. Now how we're going to do this is, first of all, we installed the handle in advance. The reason for this is because it only came with some very short screws, enough for it to go through the wood that we used. In this case, we went with a very thick 3/4 inch just because it was the wood that we had left over. Now to attach this to the drawer box that we created itself, you need to screw through both and get into this, but that requires a longer bolt. I didn't have any spares. So what we're going to do is a little workaround. We're going, now that we've got these drill heads on the back of this, it won't sit straight up against this. So we're going to mark where these are going to meet into the drawer, and we're going to drill with the phosphor bit just a little bit so these heads will fit into it. The whole thing will then be able to be screwed onto the front of this. Now, before we mark this, one of the things that we actually do is we're going to use a couple washers. They're here somewhere. A couple washers that we're going to use as spacers to decide where exactly we're going to put this. Now that we know where it's going to be, we're going to mark where those drills need to be, where we need to drill a little bit out of that. We're going to clamp this onto it and then screw from the back side or from the inside and then attach this to it. We used coins and washers as spacers in between the fake cabinets to make it look real.
And now to install the handles on the fake drawers.
Okay, now that we've actually installed all the handles to make this bed look like a actual cabinet with drawers, now we can put on this backing that was supposed to be part of the bed installation. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that now and screw everything on here so this doesn't move. For the adjustable shelves, I routed out a little bit of the wood so that the shelf can sit on the shelf pins.
We're now going to add molding to the top of the unit.
Mrs. Poorman found some molding that matched the Art Deco that we happened to have in the room, so we had to use that.
Unlike the rest of the project, we had to apply conditioner to the molding before staining.
And now for our last piece. All right, now what we're going to end up doing after this point is we're going to go through everything. There were some places that we had made some minor mistakes, I guess, and we're going to be doing touch-ups before we call this completed. We're in the final stages of our build of the Murphy bed. There were some issues that we ran into here and there, some minor problems, and so we actually had to cut a new piece of wood because we drilled it incorrectly, and we also forgot to put some banding, edge banding on it, so we're going to replace that now. We're going to do some touch up with some the stain and make sure that this is perfect. We actually had different hardware from the instructions which we had, which was actually our fault. But because of this, some of the drilling we did was off, and we had to fix it.
We used some extra pieces that we had to cover up the errors. And there you have it. Thank you for watching our Murphy build project.
And we'd also like to thank easymurphybed.com, where we obtained the hardware. Although we're not sponsored for this, they have been fantastic in helping us out in the whole time on the 3 separate times that we've built Murphy beds.
Until we meet again, bye-bye.